Hey guys, I'm back. So, right now I decided that, let me open this blind up a little bit. My cats have torn up my blinds and my curtains, just to let you know. That's the cats. And Gaia, the pet that I just made the video on. So, today I'm going to talk about my older man, Kronk. Okay? Yes, he's named after the Emperor's New Groove. Yes, he is. And he's just as much of a doofus. But he's the sweetest little doofus ever. He is actually presa canario. And he is mixed with a cane corso and possibly something else. We're not sure. But he's definitely presa canario and cane corso. He actually was a result of bad breeding. He has a lot of health issues. He has severe hip dysplasia. He's 6 years old, too. He's almost 7, so age has a lot to do with it. But he has what's known as cherry eye, which is the drooping and sagging of the eye, the loose eye sockets. We do have to watch him constantly and keep his eyes clean because he is prone to eye infections, blood clots in the eye, and stuff like that. His eye actually looks really, really cloudy on most days. It doesn't really clear up. He can see, but we're not quite sure how well he can see. His hearing is starting to go already. He has a lot of skin tags and cysts, but again, that's mostly because of bad breeding. It does have a lot to do with the Mastiff breed. The Mastiff breed, of course, has the loose, flappy skin, and that's what makes him cute. And Kronk is no different. You know, he takes after all of the breeds. He is actually my protection dog, my personal protection dog. For daily activities, like around the house, I'll keep Gaia right beside me because she is my service dog. But if I'm going somewhere that I don't know, or I don't know what the threats are, or like if I'm going to the park or out in public somewhere where I'm kind of sketched out and kind of iffy, I will bring Kronk with me before I'll bring Gaia, just for the simple fact Kronk is a protection dog. That's what he's trained for. He's amazing with family. Anyone that I bring in the house and introduce him to, he accepts. But if you come into my house and I haven't introduced you and I'm not standing right there, he will attack. Like, he will go. And with the presa canario, which is actually from the Canary Islands, it's actually from Gran Canaria. He is not scared of anything, really. He doesn't back down. That's one issue. So if you're going to own one, you need to make sure that you are the alpha of the pack. Early training is essential. If you do not start training and you do not stay up on the training, he will get bored. And when he gets bored, he is destructive. Not only that, you risk and you're taking in other people's lives and other animals' lives into your own hand because they can be aggressive. They were actually trained as livestock. They were bred as livestock guardians, which means that they hold down cows for slaughter. They'll chase wild dogs out of the fields and kill the wild dogs. They'll actually hunt and kill any type of animals that's threatening what they know they have to watch. Like, they know their job that you give them, and they will do their job to the best of their extent. I mean, they will put their own lives at risk in order to protect what they know they have to protect. Like, for example, if I leave the house for like a doctor's appointment or something and I can't bring Kronk inside with me, I'll walk out, when I go to walk out the house, I'll look at him and say, watch the house. And when I come back, he'll be sitting on the couch watching the doors. Like, he knows, he's already learned the sounds of our cars and the sound of other cars. Like, he's very smart. They're, how do I word it? They're protective to a default. They will actually give their own lives for you. And there won't be a hesitation. They think that they are Hercules. Like, nothing can defeat them. So you need to watch that too. Don't let them get into a situation unless it's absolutely dire. They're amazing dogs with family if they're properly trained and actually allowed to be around people and other animals while they're young. Our presa canario, we have no issue with if I bring the person inside. But that's just what he's been trained to do. He actually is a rescue. I did not start his training. If I had, I would not have trained him to be a guard dog for the simple fact, I don't necessarily need it. It's nice, but I don't necessarily need it. Just because that's what he was trained as. I continue to train him in that because he loves doing it. He loves watching and he loves protecting his family. They bond very, very, very deeply with their pack. Whoever's in their pack, they are going to watch them 100%. They can be very wary and sketchy of other animals and other people. They are very territorial. So I would recommend, if you're going to like a dog park or you're going out, keep your dog on a leash because he will try to protect you. I've had an instance where I've had Kronk on the leash and a stray dog came up and was growling at me and was going to attack. It was just some stray dog that had been used as a dog fighter. Where I live at, that's a very big thing, unfortunately. And I'm trying, I work with the police department a lot, with different animal rescues, so that way I could try to help stop that. And I'm a big animal advocate, especially for aggressive breeds, just to let people know, hey, there's nothing really bad about them. It's just the people. So about Kronk. Kronk is almost 7 years old. He is a big baby. He loves to sleep. That's his favorite thing in the world to do. Sleep and have tennis balls. I have to buy boxes of tennis balls at a time because he literally will hide the tennis balls around the house. And whenever he gets bored, he'll pull them out and play with them. He doesn't really get bored often because I do a lot of tricks and a lot of training with him. I work with all of the animals daily. So, I'm actually on workman's comp right now, so I'm not allowed to work. I just had surgery, so I have more time to actually sit with them and work with them, work with their obedience and stuff like that. So I really am lucky in that. Lucky and unlucky at the same time. But Kronk is amazing. He knows exactly how to walk on a leash. He will walk beside me, and he's trained with hand signals because his hearing is going out. I have to train him with hand signals. So he responds very well to hand signals. He gives 5. Some days he does it a lot better than other days. It all depends, honestly, on how his hip dysplasia is doing. But I have to keep him on a joint supplement with that. He sits well. He watches a lot of the videos that you'll see on YouTube about the dogs who will like stay beside their owner and, watch out and keep constant vigilance. Kronk does that. He was adopted from our local ASPCA, which is called Dorchester Paws, because we're in South Carolina. We're actually in Dorchester County. Well, that's where the shelter is Dorchester County. And he was actually one of the staff picks. When we got there, we didn't even see him. Like, we couldn't see him at all because he was laying inside on the bed and didn't even come out. I believe he was chewing on a tennis ball. But when they brought him out, just immediately I fell in love with him. He has a lot of health problems. He's got a lot of deformities, but that's why I fell in love with him. Is because, yes, he's got a little bit more needs than most dogs, but he's so sweet, and he's got the most expressive face in the world. He's happy, and, he just has a will to survive and to live and just to make people happy. He's very treat oriented. He loves his treats. He actually is on a joint supplement that's a peanut butter cookie. So when I give him his medicine, I turn it into like a game time. And I'll actually sit there and, make him do tricks and use training to give him those. But he has to have them anyways because they're medications. So I don't believe in over-treating them because, that is going to lead to obesity. And with the bigger breeds, you do have to watch out for that because they will overeat. A lot of them, they don't know when to stop. So you have to make sure that you keep them on a really good dog food that isn't all fillers. I don't like any of the stuff that you can buy at like Walmart or stuff like that. I actually get our dog food from our local feed and seed place. I can't even find it at like Tractor Supply or something like that. So I have to go to the local feed place and get it ordered. They love Kronk. So, I also have him on it's called Pro Bio for his joints. That's the peanut butter cookies. He absolutely adores them. I do see a slight difference. He eats about 6 cookies a day just because of how far along progressed his hip dysplasia is. I am seeing a slight difference, but we'll give it another 2 months. If I don't see the advancement that I want to see, we will start looking for a different treatment option. But we should find out within the next couple of weeks how he's going to do. I see a slight improvement. I don't see much of an improvement yet. He has a lot of issues like getting onto the couch and getting onto his dog bed, getting up from a laying down position. He has issues. He has issues with stairs. So that's going to be a big problem. Other than that, he does have the herding instinct, which is funny because, they are so big. People think he's, not agile. He actually moves like a cat. He can wiggle, as big as he is, he can wiggle and squirm his way into anything he wants. The agileness of the breed of the presa canario is amazing. It's not like other dog breeds. He's very strong-willed. Let me think. All in all, I'd say if you have small children who are not really good around dogs or who have not been like taught exactly how to treat these dogs, how to read these dogs, how to read for aggression and stuff like that, I don't recommend a dog this big and this breed for people who have small children. If you're going to have this dog around small children, make sure that you are vigilant, that you are watching, because the small child can actually hurt these dogs. And in return, it's like a human. If someone hurts you, you're going to lash out. And these dogs, if they do lash out of pain, yes, they can semi-control their bite, but it's like a human, you're just going to swing. So I don't necessarily recommend for very small children unless you can watch it or your kids have been taught how to deal with animals, and taught the correct way. Don't just tell them, oh, it's a puppy, oh, dress it up, do all this crap. No. Mm-mm. No. My dogs will wear sweaters in the winter when it gets super cold, but other than that, my dogs don't wear clothes. They don't like them. Some dogs like it. Some dogs don't. So, make sure your children know that these animals are not toys. They are not toys. Okay? They are actual living animals. And yes, they are big. Kronk actually has to stay about 30 pounds underweight because of his hip dysplasia. He has to stay at the lean weight. He is on a very strict diet. But honestly, it's all because of the hip dysplasia. They can get anywhere from 110 to around 100, anywhere between 130 and 150. So average weight is about that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the females can be about 80, 90 pounds to about 120. So, you're looking at an average difference there. Kronk is actually at 80 pounds right now, and he's on the small side. So that has a lot to do with the breeding. So they're very rare here. The breed just got started in 1989 is when they were finally recognized. So there's a lot of differences in what the breed is and what the breed should be. A lot of people have varying differences. Some people have actually bred it with Great Danes. Some people have bred it with the pits. It has been bred with other Mastiff breeds. Kronk is actually mixed with a Mastiff breed, which is what the Cane Corso is. And that right there is where he gets his intelligence more from, because he takes a lot after the Cane Corsos. That's also where he gets his size from, because he's a little bit smaller. Everything else about him really, though, is presa canario. His attitude, everything like that. So just make sure that no matter what you do, that you work with him daily. For example, there he is right there. He is asleep. And that's his normal position. You see, he flipped down my couch pillow and everything like that. And he's snoring. That's normal. He's just a big baby. So just please, please, please do some research. Okay? Do some research for the simple fact these dogs can definitely get aggressive if you don't train them correctly. And if you're looking for an animal just to sit there and say, oh, well, I want a protection animal, don't get it. Because you're just going to ruin the dog. Unless you are a professional trainer or you have a professional trainer that can guide you and you listen to that person, don't try that yourself. That can go seriously wrong, seriously fast. Because then if you don't know what you're doing, you can actually train your dog to be hyper alert, which means basically their stress level is up 100% of the time. And they're always scary. It means that, they're more prone to biting. And you're not looking at just a small nip. You're looking at a full-fledged fear bite. And that is what causes the most damage when they go in full-fledged fear mode. Okay, because they're going to sit there and they're going to fight for their life. And they don't back down. They don't. Presa canarios do not back down. You can call them off, but again, that's where the professional training comes in order to help you learn how to do that. Because if your dog has not been trained correctly, it will not respond to you when it's in attack mode. Kronk has had a lot of training. He was actually in a shelter pretty much since the day he was born. And we've actually done a lot of work with him. We actually adopted him on September 11th. So that's an easy adoption day to remember. But we've done a lot of work with him. Well, I have. My fiance works a lot. So he's actually done a lot better. He actually had very good training while he was inside of the shelter as well. All of the vets there absolutely fell in love with him. So I actually have to bring him by every couple of weeks so they can see him because they miss him so much. And they actually call me for and check my Facebook page for regular updates. So we'll see what's going on there. They absolutely adore him. So, you know, we're going to be moving soon. I've got a feeling they're going to, one of the vet techs is probably going to wind up coming out just to see him. Because we're going to be moving across the country. So that should be an interesting drive. I'll definitely put that in video for you too. But other than that, yeah, I'll keep doing videos and every day give you a little bit more facts and just random stuff on what they're doing. So I guess have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.